gave the public an opportunity to attend these meetings, and so we stream them live to anyone that would like to watch. So that's going now. And then the last thing I need to do is just excuse me. The last thing I need to do is just read through our hearing script. This basically just covers the procedure for the hearing, and then we'll jump right into the hearing. So this is the October 20th, 2021 session of the Zoning Hearing Examiner docket. My name is David Sturkey. I'm the Zoning Hearing Examiner for the City of Cincinnati, and I'll preside over this hearing. The case before us today is case number ZH20210149. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and opposing parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the Zoning Hearing Examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing, unless a party has submitted evidence or testimony in the form of writing prior to this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. If we had anyone here from the public, they would then have an opportunity to speak after you had presented your case. In the event any party did offer any argument in opposition to this application, you'd have an opportunity to rebut that testimony or argument offered in opposition. And then finally, you'll have an opportunity to make a closing statement. So for our purposes here today, it's just the two of us. I'll give you an opportunity to tell me about what you're asking for, why you think it's appropriate, why it fits in the neighborhood, why this exception should be made. And then I'll ask you maybe a couple additional questions about the project. And then I'll let you make any final statements or anything you'd like to say, and then I'll close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. I may also refuse to consider hearsay testimony. That's generally evidence that you want to introduce that consists of a statement made by someone who's not here at the hearing. In the event of any technical difficulties with our video conferencing technology, I'll do my best to troubleshoot that on the fly, but to the extent there's some breakdown with the tech that prevents us from meaningfully going forward with the hearing, I may continue or postpone this hearing at my discretion. Okay, last thing I need to do is just swear you in. So if you could raise your right hand, I need you to answer out loud. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Or do I say yes or I do?
Yeah, either one. That
works. Okay, I do.
Sure. Okay, great. You're now sworn. So yeah, tell me a little bit more about the project, what you want to do, and why you think it's appropriate for this neighborhood.
I'm in childcare, and right now I'm a type B license, but I'm just recently, I moved to the new house where I am now back in July from Northside. And I had a type A license, but because of the different zones, I guess, I had to apply for a conditional use for a type A, which allows me to have up to 12 children. Right now I can only have 6. So type A would allow me to have more children, which I know is needed in the community because there's literally a school, an elementary school across the street from my home, along with the public library. So, you know, having another, like when kids got out of school or before school, having a place for parents or families to bring their kids or to come pick their kids up after school is needed. I feel like it's needed over here.
Okay. So what, you said you live across from a school. What school is that?
Pleasant Hill Elementary or Academy. I think it's Pleasant Hill Academy.
Okay. And what type of school is that age?
Kindergarten. Well, no, they have preschool through, I want to say 6th grade.
Gotcha. Okay. And what will be the demographic of the daycare in terms of age?
Newborn to 12 years old.
Okay. And what are the typical hours for a daycare? What are you proposing?
Well, my hours now are 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay.
So like I said, that will give parents the options to drop their kids off before school starts, just in case they have to be to work before school starts, and even after school, if they get out, you know, well, the school gets out like 2:15. So parents get off at 4 o'clock. I'll be able to go get their kids, or I can walk over and pick them up after when they get off of work.
Gotcha. Okay. And let's see. How many children do you currently have at your existing business in Northside?
I have 6 right now.
Okay, so that means like
Well, no, I'm sorry. I'm currently in College Hill doing childcare, but it's a type B license. I'm trying to get a type A.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. I thought you said that you were type B in Northside.
I know I was a type A. Yeah, I mean, no. Before I moved here in College Hill, I was a type A, which is what I'm trying to get back to at the new place, the new location.
Which just allows you more children.
More children, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Does that mean you have 6 total children at any given time, or you have like 6 clients total?
6 at one time, like, because I'm like I said, my hours are 6 to 10, so that's like first and second shift. So I could have up to 6 kids at one time.
Got it. Okay. And is that just Monday through Friday?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Great. And let's see. So, and you think it's compatible with the neighborhood, having the school there? Is that the main argument there? Is that it's near school, and so it is consistent with having kids already in the neighborhood, and
Yeah.
It's convenient for parents.
And then like if a older kid, has a smaller sibling that's not yet in school, they'll be across the street from their sibling, and it'll just be convenient for the parents to come pick them up in like one neighborhood versus having to go to different neighborhoods to get their kids or whatever.
Sure. Have you seen any changes in the daycare industry or patterns from parents or availability of daycare since in the last 2 years or since the pandemic?
Not really. Like I've only been in business for 2 years, so not really.
Okay.
I haven't really seen a change.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Let's see. And so the type B license that you currently have, that's at the address that you're at now?
Yes.
Got it. I assume you have some outdoor recreation area, is that right?
It's a playground across the street, but when state came to do my inspection, they told me that the children are allowed to go outside my backyard, even though there's not a fence up. But they said because of the natural barriers, like the trees and stuff around, that it was okay for them to play in the backyard. But it's too open for me. I'd rather have them across the street at the playground where it's kind of right there versus my backyard is like huge. So yeah, but we do have outside area for them to play with, playing or whatever.
Okay. Got it. Let's see. Yeah, so when I'm looking through Walter Mueller in the zoning department, they will offer they'll produce a staff report which sort of summarizes the case and makes a recommendation to me on whether I should approve or deny this. Have you had an opportunity to look at that at all?
The report that's in my file?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So yeah, essentially I just make a recommendation. I can choose to follow it or to ignore it. In this case, he is making a recommendation to approve your application. But he does recommend that there's one condition of approval, and that is that the applicant provide a fence of a minimum of 4 feet in height to secure the outdoor play area in the rear yard.
I do have that. Yeah, I do have that letter.
Yeah. And that the play area must be located in the rear yard. And the fence include a gate that encloses It closes the fence. What's your response to that recommendation?
I mean, I get that because from what I understand, that's what the city would want, but from childcare, they don't necessarily have to have an outdoor space on the property. Like I said, there's a park across the street that they will be able to go to if they need outside time. But I mean, it's just, I guess it's different rules. And then, like I was telling Rodney, who did the actual inspection, I rent. I don't really want to, put that much money into a fence when 9 times out of 10, I will be moving next year to buy a house. So it's like I really don't want to put that much money into a property that isn't mine for a fence when do I really, really need it? So I'm kind of like in between that 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 issue.
Do you know how much a fence would cost?
I don't.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Are you the only employee of the business?
I have a assistant that comes like for right now, if I have stuff to do, she'll come and fill my place, but not an everyday person though.
So typically it's just you with the children.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, and I apologize, I don't know much about childcare and the business of childcare, but I assume that that if the kids are outside, they're all together and being supervised.
You said being supervised?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know that must sound like a dumb question, but I'm just not. I never know how it works. And I'm just thinking about this fence. There's never going to be a time where these children are outside by themselves playing.
Never. And then I have mostly the children I do have, they're small. So we're like right there. Well, you can't see how the backyard looks, but yeah, no, they wouldn't be out there by themselves or anything like that, or be able to get lost or hurt or anything, as long as they're, because I'm always right. Like if we do outside, I'm right there with them. So yeah, I don't really see the issue with the fence.
Okay. Let's see. I think that's all the questions that I have. Anything else you'd like to say in closing or otherwise before we adjourn here today?
Yes. So is like the zoning, so with how the zoning works, would that be like anywhere in College Hill, or is that just certain parts of the city? Like how does that work?
Yeah, so each portion, and it's not even necessarily neighborhood to neighborhood, but it can be even like street to street or just tiny neighborhood to tiny neighborhood, has different zoning classifications. And so it really just depends on where you are in terms of North Side or College Hill, and then it depends on where in North Side you are. So your particular classification has its own specific rules for what's permitted and whether type A daycare is permitted or type B daycare. So in your situation, in the zoning area that you're in no type A daycare, which I assume the primary difference there is 12 kids. No type A daycare is permitted anywhere in your zone. Now, that's not necessarily all of College Hill, but that's in the particular zoning district that you're in. And so anyone who wants to do type A daycare in your zoning district will need to come and apply for what this is, which is sort of a conditional use, like an exception to be able to do that in your neighborhood. And it needs to just like meet a few factors. And that's basically why I'm asking these questions and what I need to cover. And it's, is it appropriately located, designed, and configured for your zoning district? And are there any potential adverse impacts as a result of letting you do type A? And so, let me ask you: do you anticipate any adverse impacts as a result of going from type B to type A?
Not at all.
Is it? I mean, is it going to be louder for your neighbors?
I mean, the way that on the right side, the house is empty, and on the left side, it's like a 2-family house. One of the apartments are empty, and then I guess it's like it's a girl and her daughter. That's it. And then it's an apartment complex, like kind of like on the other side of my backyard. So there's kids all around. So
Okay. Okay. Did that answer your question though?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait. So is there a way to determine, like, or before I even start this process again, like I said, I probably more than likely will be moving again so I can buy my own home. Like, is there something to look for, or can I look it up on the website before I try to purchase a home, or?
Yeah, you can. So our municipal code and our zoning code is posted in its entirety online. It's all digital, and so you can search that. But I think, as you look at the house listing, it should include what zoning district you're moving into.
Okay.
In this case, you're in a T4N.MF. There's a few dozen different zoning code designations. So as you're looking at the listings, you can look at what zoning code designation you're in. And then as soon as you have that, you can go into the municipal code online via Google search. Once you get into the zoning code, you can search within the zoning code for that zoning district. And then they have charts that have land use regulations. And within those land use regulations, you'll see type A daycare, type B daycare, and then you'll see either permitted or not permitted.
Okay.
And so you just do a little digging. You can also call the zoning department. Hopefully by this time you have a good contact, whether it's Walt or Rodney. Rodney's very helpful. You can reach out to them and ask them directly before you buy a home what type of daycare is permitted in your district.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When in doubt, give us a call and we'll walk you through it. Okay. So give me a couple weeks. These decisions typically take a couple weeks. I just need to do a little bit more research here. But I believe this will be approved. It typically takes me 2 weeks to reach a decision and to type it out and to formally do the written decision. And so as soon as I finish that, I will put it into a PDF and I'll email it to you. If that's okay, is email a good way to distribute this to you?
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as you have that email PDF from me, you can start working with Walt. You'll want to reach back out to Walter, and he can finalize all the necessary permitting, but he can only do that after he has my decision. So you'll have to wait till you get that. I'll send it to you and Walt at the same time. So Walt will have it as soon as he has it. You can get the necessary permitting.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay. All right. I think we'll leave it at that then. If anything comes up in the meantime, please feel free to email me or Walt if you have questions. And I wish you the best of luck. Have a wonderful